Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, with this kind of support, you are sure to win. And who's you? You is the Iranian government. And who's losing? The protesters or the rioters. While because from the protest, peaceful protest is turned in riots and destruction of property and other stuff. Not the whole thing, but I think it's the role of the government, of the government to make sure that these kind of things are kept under control. You wouldn't want riots in your neighborhood, correct? You would like to have peaceful protest. If you protest against something, you do it peacefully. Destroying the neighbor's property and whatever else, you should be arrested in a civilized society, and free and just society, because you can let it go to reach certain kind of political goals, and then you intervene only when those goals are achieved. 2020 here in the United States rings a bell, and not only 2019 as well. So let's see what's going on here. We have an article from Sputnik, and it's from today, actually from 10 minutes ago, and it's from the 26th of November 2022. Iran's Jews condemn anti-government protests. Now, we have a little dilemma here, which is if the Jews in Iran condemn the protests, which some of them turned, as I said, violent and so on, but the Western countries support them, what are we going to do? That means the foreign governments will start blaming the Jews as well? Definitely not. That's why, if you have the support over there, you're sure to win, because these weasels here will keep their mouth shut under the new little change, or how should I put it, development. So let's see what's going on here. Despite its back and forth exchanges of acrimony with its arch enemy, Israel, the Islamic Republic of Iran, is also home to the second largest community of Jews in the Middle East. The minority has shown steadfast loyalty to the state over the decades, and in turn has received a number of cultural and religious preferences from authorities. Well, how is that possible? I thought that these guys are just... No? Good. The Tehran Central Jewish Committee, an umbrella group representing Iran's Jewish organizations, plural, has issued a statement condemning recent anti-government violence and unrest and expressing its support for the government. And I'm quoting, "The Tehran Central Jewish Committee condemns the current unrest in the country, which has resulted in the death and injury of several of our compatriots, as well as large financial losses to the nation. We declare that the Jewish community of Iran has always followed and obeyed the position of the supreme leader, like our fellow countrymen, and has been on the front lines in confronting those who disrupt order and security," the TCJC said in a letter published this week. Remember, this is a committee. It doesn't mean that they say we represent blah blah blah. We represent you and others. You don't know how each and every person in an organization thinks and acts. That's why when you see these mofos with the unions, hey, we are the union and the union supports that candidate or that party. No, you don't. I joined the union maybe for some other reasons than support that weasel or the weasel. So that's how the unions do. They think, hey, if we endorse that person, all our members will vote for that. It's true that there are many there, but anyway, not all of them. So the same here. These guys can say that, but you don't know how many Jews. And don't put it as it's just Jews. Could be anybody else, okay? In any kind of organization. How many support that and how many, condemn it, condone it, whatever. So it says here that Iran's authorities have roundly condemned the violence resulting from the protest, which has caused scores of deaths and injuries, including among both protesters and security forces, and have accused Western countries and Israel of fueling unrest both on the ground and online. The protests and riots put Iran's Jewish community on edge, with the TCG asking members to avoid synagogues in September and calling on the religious centers to close daily at 5 p.m. in light of the current circumstances. Well, Iran's Jews aren't the only minority to condemn the protests and side with authorities. Mamusta Faik Rostami, the country's top Sunni cleric, has slammed the riots last week, saying that freedom and democracy under Islam does not mean anarchy and the destruction of property. And I'm quoting, "Children should not be orphaned in the name of protest. The enemy seeks to create insecurity in our society and will hatch any conspiracy to achieve this goal. Religious scholars and authorities should invite the people towards peace through their tact and logic, and they should be provide the basis for solving problems by creating a discourse." Well, the cleric urged. No, and it's speaking in the Kurdish majority city of Sanadai, western Iran. The thing is this. Did you notice that when riots or people protest the government in the Western countries, let's take Canada for instance with the truckers convoy, there was no violence there, right? When they did that, they were taken out of the street. After what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they were taken out of the street. And what happened then, that showed how free the Westerners are in their free countries. That's one, and it was just an example with the fucking Trudeau, okay? Now, in the United States, if there are riots and if they're the wrong rioters, they get put in place in a second. Boom. But if are the right rioters, oh, let them be. They just show their anger that they're entitled to. No, they're not entitled to shit. You are violent, you get the treatment. Grabbed by this, thrown in a little fucking van, taken to jail. That's what's happened. And then we figure out what happened to you, okay? With our security cameras and all that, we figure out. No problem with that, right? That's how it's done in a democratic system. Am I condoning violence? No, I'm not. But if you act like an idiot and you destroy some other people's property, it's the duty of the law enforcement to protect that person's property. If I'm right here doing this with you and I have the rioters right here going and destroying my property, am I supposed to get my chick and get outside and hey guys, what the fuck are you doing? Or are you supposed the law enforcement to protect my property and my life? Law enforcement, that's why I fucking pay taxes. So they should come and get those guys out. That means arrest them. That's a crime. Destroying some other person's property. That's how it works, doesn't it? Yes. So they're very quick to do this sometime. As I said, if you got the wrong protesters, that are not supported or pushed, channeled towards certain things to achieve certain kind of goals, yeah, they're allowed to do whatever, and then maybe they arrest them, and then you have the prosecutors who are on payroll of some other interests, and then they just like this, and it's much more. Anyway, so they don't like this kind of things on their turf. But when it's happening in Iran or let's say in Russia or the countries that they don't like, they are, oh my God, don't touch the supporters, don't touch the protesters, let them, what exactly you want them to achieve? Overthrow the government? Oh yeah. I mean, first, what should the Iranian government do? Let's see, what should they do? These guys protest. Okay, first, all right, why do you protest? I would say, okay, what's going on? I'm going to start an investigation on those guys to see if they're responsible for the death of that 22-year-old woman. What else you want me to do? I'm not going to get them out like those guys wanted, Pilatus, whatever, to take Jesus out and just hang him or crucify him because they say so. Doesn't work that way in a civilized society. All right? Crucify him, crucify him. It's not going to work that way. You're not going to get them. You need to conduct an investigation and find out what the hell happened. Now, what am I supposed to do else? I can't get them out and throw them to you so you can... No, it doesn't work that way. So the government, okay, we're going to do this. Now, if I say that, will you go back? If not, why not? Is that what you want? You want justice. What do you want? Oh, you want to go over to the government, I guess. Because if I say I'm going to do this, or let's find out what happened, you should go back. Because that's what you should demand. Justice. I want to see what the fuck happened. In that situation, if it's much more, then you will stay in the street again. And I will say, okay, now what? What's going on? What do you want? And they say, well, we want you to leave. Well. Thank you very much for being honest. But I think that's not going to happen because it's not going to be only you who decide that, but the whole Iran. So you can't, how many you are, 50,000, 1 million, you don't dictate what's going on here. Yeah, you can help and open a conversation, but work within the system. We have elections, don't we? Yeah, you know, all the, the elections are unfair. Hey, are you election denier now? You see how it works? It should work both ways here. So then, if the government does that, why do you start rioting? What do you become by rioting? You're not becoming a protester. You're becoming a criminal. That's what you destroying property, attacking people. And what do you expect the government to do? They try to say, hey guys, take it easy, don't do this, let's solve the problem. If you continue, what is the government supposed to do? Let you do that? No, it's like, as I said, I'm here, those guys riot, destroy my property, and the government said, it's okay, let them do it. No, I pay for this. I want to work in peace. I want to talk to you guys. I want to have my life in peace. I don't need those guys. If they have something to say it, but don't destroy why am I guilty of anything? So they should intervene and fuck them up. Arrest them. That's what they should do. As fast as possible. Just like this. Otherwise they will commit more crimes, more destructions. Like I have a rapist. Oh, let them finish his urges, and after that we're going to arrest him after he rapes, I don't know, a number of women and men, I don't know. And then we arrest him? No, you arrest him right there so he doesn't do it again. Doesn't continue destroying and causing pain and so on. So now you have the Jews saying, hey, we just want peace. Come on, man. Work in the system, within the system. You protest, it's fine. You attack property and people, not fine. And besides, what are the Westerners going to do here? They're just going to blame the Iran doing what? Containing the rioters? They should. You should contain rioters. Because what's the goal of a rioter? A person who destroys property. What's the goal? Is that protest? Not anymore. It turned into something else. And that's what it's also considered here. In the free countries. The same way. If I go over there and I protest at the Capitol or wherever I go, and I say, whoa, you have to be authorized if you have a meeting or you have a protest. You have to apply for a fucking permit. But if I do it by myself, they can say I do this, and they can still take care of me. But let's say I start destroying property when I just go with hey, do this, don't do this, hey, this, and I start destroying property, what should they do to me? Do you think they should just let me do it? No, they will not. But why would you agree with Iran? Because you want Iran government to be gone so you can control a country. What else? And the Jewish community here, I think, is right about the way they formulated their support or condemnation. Why? Because they're very smart. And I think they're right on this. Not because, oh my God, they're with the Iranian, they're in the cahoots. Could be. In the cahoots with the government of Iran. Could be. But why would you want riots? Would you? Do you support rioters and criminality? Oh, I thought so. Okay, me neither. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.